Joint Operating Agreements, or JOAs, generally have two main purposes: to allocate risks and costs among parties, and to establish rules and procedures governing the relationship between the operator and the non-operators. JOAs have become remarkably standardized. Prominent organizations like the American Association of Petroleum Landmen and the Association of International Petroleum Negotiators devoted substantial time and resources to researching, drafting, and promoting use of model form operating agreements. While the model forms are excellent tools, there are times when over-reliance on them can yield unintended consequences. Let's look at two prominently used model forms: the AAPL 1989 and 1982 JOA. The 1989 JOA vests significant authority in the operator, leaving the operator largely unaccountable to the non-operators. The AAPL 1982 JOA is somewhat less robust. Under these JOAs, the operator is shielded from most liability to the non-operators in conducting its operations. The legal buzzwords require gross negligence or willful misconduct for the operator to be liable. But what if the operator violates the rules and procedures in discharging its administrative duties by failing to provide required notices or by violating the accounting procedures? Parties and courts have disagreed whether the operator is liable to the non-operators only in instances of operator gross negligence or willful misconduct in performing these types of contractual obligations under a JOA. Texas courts in particular have held that the so-called operator exculpatory clause applies only to the conduct of operations. Confusing matters further, the Texas Supreme Court recently held that the AAPL 1989 JOA provides the operator with broader protection than the AAPL 1982 JOA because the exculpatory clause applies to the operator's activities and not just the operator's operations under the JOA. Louisiana courts have less often addressed and not yet resolved these issues. To balance the significant authority granted to the operator, non-operators have authority to remove the operator in certain circumstances. All parties should ensure that operator liability, exculpatory, and removal clauses are completely clear and compatible in expressing their mutual intent. They also should consider specifically stating whether removal of the operator is effective immediately when the non-operators act in accordance with the removal provisions, or if a court or arbitrator first must determine whether the operator's conduct violated the JOA and justifies removal. Careful consideration and precise modification of model form JOAs is required to ensure that they capture all parties' true intentions.